Hello everyone and welcome back to Make Your Mind. This is the latest of my Wednesday previews for my upcoming Saturday premiere sculpture. Now, to point out real quick, Saturday is going to be a normal day. It's going to be a normal premiere and it will be live and everyone will be able to chat in the chat below. So come by Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and come chat. I will be in the chat as well, answering questions and just talking about the channel and life in general. So with that, let's go ahead and begin, shall we? As you can see, I've already started mixing some colors. This is a mix of yellow and brown and white, trying to get this sort of tan color for the next sculpture. Now, this next creature I'm going to be making doesn't have a lot of color to it, but the shape itself, some of it is a little bit of a mystery, but I'm going to be essentially creating my own interpretation of what this creature is going to be. And this creature is going to be from a very, very popular TV series. Or I shouldn't say TV series, but I should say streaming series. And I will offer some more details of that as things are going along. So here's the head that I started. As you can see right here, I curled around, started making the jaws, but the teeth itself are going to be made out of white here, and I also have some pink for the inside in here. What I plan to do is I'm actually going to take a little bit of this pink here and mix it with some of this pre-mixed tan so that I can get the sort of tint that I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna, I got a little bit of music playing in the background here. Some relaxing music. It's kind of hot today. I've had a lot going on and things have gotten pretty crazy, but things are also starting to settle down. Gotta say, when it comes to outside YouTube and YouTube itself, I'm firmly on my way to 600 subscribers, so thank you all of you for subscribing and checking out my channel. Like I said, if anybody's just tuning in to this channel now, I have a very extensive backlog of videos, over 160 videos for you to check out if you'd like to enjoy those, so feel free. And yeah, a lot of good stuff going on, man, a lot of good stuff. The summer's ramping up here, it's getting pretty hot. But in the meantime, I'm just figuring out what I need to do here as far as the shape. Because this creature, when it was shown on the show in question, I'm not going to give out too many details, not until later on in the video. So if you want to, stay tuned, and I will fill you in on all the details when this starts to take much more shape, when it starts to take a more recognizable shape. I mean, this creature is revered in the universe that it's in, mainly because of what it has inside of its body. It lives in dry desert areas, and it's quite a massive creature indeed. It's actually one of the biggest creatures on this planet, so that should give you a little bit of a clue as to what this is. But it's what's inside the creature that makes this thing such a legend. For this creature actually it lives in the sand, it does consume a lot of sand, and it has an organ inside of its body that actually makes massive pearls that can be used for many things but are revered with the indigenous people of that planet. Some of you may know what that means, but once again, I will give out more details when this sculpture starts to take more shape here. I'm mainly going to be focusing on the head because the body, we've only seen the sort of top part and we've only seen the sort of front quarter of the body of itself. So we haven't actually seen what the entire body looks like. But this is one of 2 known species of this creature, and this is the biggest. But this creature was terrorizing a small town on this planet that was in the middle of the desert. And before you start questioning watching this video, no, this is not a graboid. This is not Tremors. Notice how I said planet, by the way. So now I'm going to start making the teeth. The teeth on this creature are sort of jagged and kind of out of place for the most part. But this is a creature from a universe that is, I mean, it's known worldwide, but this creature was talked about for a long time in book series and also a lot of other things. But finally popped up on a streaming service in one of the episodes. It was actually the first episode of the second season. It's essentially what this turned out to be. And so far of that show, that is still my favorite episode, mainly because it has one of my favorite actors actually guest starring in the show. So I'm giving some little details here, some hints as far as what's coming. The funny thing about this creature is that when you see it head on, it has these massive teeth, but once again, it looks like it doesn't have eyes. And you'd think that with a creature that buries under the sand, especially as quickly as it does, you'd think it wouldn't need eyes, but it does have small eyes, sort of right here. And those eyes are sort of this color, this sort of like lighter teal. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and keep making the teeth here. As you can see, I got to roll each one of these individually, and then I'm more than likely going to cut some of these in half and roll them so that way I can make more teeth. But this creature is amazing, to be honest. It's amazing that a creature that lives on a planet, but then again, there are other creatures on this planet that are large in stature, but just being a desert and everything. And I love the fact that in the episodes, the indigenous people that live there, you actually get to see more of their culture and their language and their sort of reverence of this creature that I'm making right now. Mainly for, like I said before, like its pearls. Its pearls are pretty much sought after by not only the indigenous, but also people who are not of the planet. But, here we go. Okay, so the teeth sort of come out from the front, like so. It has these sort of gaps, like in between here, where the teeth sort of curl in. And another thing that this creature does is that, sort of like a dragon, which is a part of its name, it has the ability to spit things at its prey and also at its enemies that are attacking it. But it's not fire, it's actually acid. It spits its bile, which is this green liquid, and when it hits another creature, it basically liquefies it. It's like a giant sand acid spitting dragon, which hopefully that should give you guys a pretty clear indication as to what this is. But if not, I will continue with the hints further. But yeah, as you all noticed, if for the regular viewers anyway, as you all have noticed, you've probably seen that I've slowed my channel to only 2 or 3 videos a week. And I did not get time last week to finish my Gargantuan Leviathan 2.5. I've just been so busy with all the stuff going on outside of YouTube. But I'm going to try to get it finished. It's mainly just the small details. I haven't had to change very much of the sculpture, but I have had to, basically, I've had to put it on the back burner, mainly because of other things that have come up recently. But it's all good. In the meantime, listening to little good vibes here, and making a cool sculpture in the meantime. Here, I know what I do need to do. I'm going to take some of this pink and tan mix, and I'm going to line the inside of its jaws right here. I'll tell you what, at the 10-minute mark, I'll tell you guys exactly what it is, but I've given quite a few details. You know, it's a dragon that lives in the sand, that creates pearls, that is revered by an indigenous people on a planet from a streaming series. I think that may give you some indication as far as to what this is. But I'm still going to make it anyway, because this is a creature that I love the episode that it's shown in, and it's really cool to see that it finally put on the big screen, especially with the production value that this show has. So I'm just going to continue. Whoa! That got a little loud. There we go. Let me turn that down a little bit. So I'm lining the inside of the jaws here with this sort of gum lining. And I'm going to be adding sort of jagged teeth as it comes around. And it does have a tongue sort of in the front there that I'm going to add, that I basically made from this. However, with the picture I saw, it almost looks like the tongue is forked in a way, which it probably could well be. So I think I'm going to put a small, like a fat sort of fork on the end of it there. There we go. All right, this is 10 minutes. For those of you who still don't know what it is and still guessing, I am making the Crate Dragon from Season 2, Episode 1 of Star Wars The Mandalorian. And if you haven't seen The Mandalorian, spoiler alert, the Crate Dragon is in that episode. But there's been a lot of good news, actually, as of late when it comes to The Mandalorian. I know that they're doing the Boba Fett series, and there was a big inner turmoil thing going on when it comes to The Mandalorian, because apparently Kathleen Kennedy doesn't like Gina Carano very much, even though the things that she said, in my personal opinion, was nothing wrong. In fact, she was actually dead on the money with what Disney's doing. And Dave Filoni is in the process of trying to get Gina Carano back on the show after she was fired. And yeah, I may talk a little bit more about that, but I'm an avid YouTube watcher of or a consumer of channels like Geeks and Gamers, Overlord DVD, and other channels like Drunk 3PO, Yellow Flash 2, The Quartering is another one, and I've been watching a lot of the sort of current events and cultural things going on, and they tried to completely deplatform Gina Carano, which I am not. Man, that's just not a good idea. I've been watching Gina Carano ever since she was in UFC. And then she starred in a couple of smaller shows, and then she was in Deadpool. She played Angel, who fought against Colossus, and that was awesome. And, ooh man, the music just got faster paced. But I'm just making the teeth. As you can see, the jagged teeth are sort of in there. The tongue from the picture that I'm using as reference here, it looks like it's forked. Maybe to taste the air around it. But the creature does have these sort of smaller eyes. But it has these larger teeth that kind of jag out in front like that. It sort of closes its mouth like that. And it opens its mouth, and then when it opens its mouth, it spits this green acid that literally just melts the Tusken Raiders, the Sand People. It melts them completely away, which is an amazing scene. It really shows the formidable nature of this, the Greater Crate Dragon. But this is sort of my depiction, not only of what the creature would look like from the show, but also what the rest of the body would look like. Because I just love the fact that this creature is in the show, and I'm a big fan of the show. I even have back here on my back shelf, which I'll show it off when I make the video. I have a Cara Dune figure. She's one of my favorite characters on the show, and it was really disappointing to see Disney get rid of her because of a tweet. I just think that's so stupid. I think it's very dumb on their part, because The Mandalorian is a great show, and on top of that, they were going to be doing a show with her with Rangers of the New Republic, which, man, that would be awesome. I hope that's still a thing. I don't know. I became a fan of the show. I've been watching the show, and I just think that Disney's not in a good place right now to be making some of the dumb moves that they're doing. I think that they should just let Dave Filoni and all of them take care of the show, because they know what they're doing. But that's enough about that. As you can see, I'm still making the sort of jagged teeth of the Crate Dragon. It has these massive fangs out in front. And it makes these... And gosh, I just remember the scene where they spear the Crate Dragon with these big... They almost look like they're like windlasses, like giant crossbows. And they just keep it going like that. God, look at that. That's going to look cool. So then on top of the head, there's going to be this sort of... let me just make a quick one real quick. So the head is going to have this sort of... See, there we go. So I'm just making a little arrow spear on top. So it's going to have this sort of like arrowed spear section. Sort of sits just like that. And so the creature kind of comes out of the ground. That scene when they're going through the town and Cobb Vanth, the sheriff, who's played by Timothy Olyphant, who's one of my absolute favorite actors from, because I'm a big fan of the show Justified. I love that show. But he plays Cobb Vanth, the sheriff, which is fitting because he's just perfect for that role. The Krayt Dragon, they literally leave a bantha sitting in the middle of the town, and the Krayt Dragon literally comes out of the ground and eats it in one bite. It's just, oh man, that's one of the coolest scenes I've seen from anything in Star Wars in a while. But there's the start of the Krayt Dragon, and I'm going to be making, this is the head, and I'm going to be making the entire body. Along with sort of my depiction, not only from the depiction from The Mandalorian, but also the depiction from the expanded universe. I'm going to be taking that design and also sort of turning it into my own here. So with that concludes this video. So if you want to see the final sculpt, make sure you tune into this channel at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Saturday, where you will see the final version of the Greater Krayt Dragon from Star Wars. That's going to be awesome. As you can see, I got the sort of iridescence with the white and the tan. I think that's going to look really cool. It's going to have these small eyes that sort of appear right here, but I'm going to keep working on this. And if you like things on this channel, don't forget to leave a like down below, and remember to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss the video. If you wish to help out with the channel, I actually have an Etsy store with the link down below where I sell pins. I have these 3 pins for sale. I have my Watermark First Edition, my official pin, and also my Gargantuan pin, which I will be making 20 of these. Then after that, they will not be made anymore. So get those while you can. And this was a pin that I actually made the other day. If you see on the playlist on my channel, I made a lot of sculptures from the game Hollow Knight, and this is the Void Heart, which is one of the best charms in the game. It's basically the one charm that you need in order to really finish the game correctly. And I have the game myself, and it's a lot of fun. I actually just recently, got into Deep Nest, which was a lot of fun. I mean, well, fun, sort of, but it's all good. That pin is not for sale, though. Not yet, anyway. I may make a couple of those. I don't know. We'll see. But with that, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you Saturday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, for the final version of the Greater Krayt Dragon.